I have a little announce to make. I'm coming down to the living room. Give me 10 minutes. I'm leaving now, so I'll just text you. You're a shut-in anyway. You don't have to come out of your room. You're going out? Jessica invited me to have dinner with her. Jessica's here? Unlike you, she married a rich guy and became a full-time housewife. She always goes out to eat at her favorite restaurant for lunch. A woman's strength is her charm after all. On the other hand, you're a charmless girl who's always holed up in your room at your parents' house, not even able to catch a single guy. You don't have to put it that way. How long do you think to stay jobless, having your family support you? Listen, Mom. I've been telling you a million times, but I'm not jobless. It's obvious that you're jobless. You don't even show any signs of working. You just stay home all day. Well, that's not what I wanted to talk to you about. You never listen to me. So, what is it that you wanted to talk about? I've decided to live with Jessica. Wait a minute. What do you mean by that? Are you going to move into Jessica's house? No, of course not. Jessica is coming back to our house with her husband. Did you discuss that with Jessica? Wasn't her husband's workplace far from here? With a car, he'll be fine. Even so. Jessica warned me that Dad's inheritance will disappear if I continue to live with you. And plus, it would be a burden on me having to take care of you. That's why she asked me to move in with her. Inheritance? What are you talking about? Don't play dumb with me. Since your father passed away, we've been living off his inheritance. I've managed to support you with this inheritance until now. But Jessica told me it was a waste to spend it on you when I could have used it on myself. And that's how Jessica asked you to live with her? There's a limit to the inheritance. Once it's gone, we'll have to live on a pension, right? But since we won't get much out of pension, I thought I'd have Jessica's husband take care of me. So you're trying to have Jessica and her husband live with you in order to have her husband support you financially? That means he'll have to support both you and Jessica. Has her husband really agreed to that? He's crazy about Jessica. You're about to meet Jessica, right? Yes, she's gonna pick me up by car and we're gonna go out for lunch. To a nice restaurant. We haven't had that kind of opportunity since your father died. And since you're jobless, you never take me out for meals. Compared to you, Jessica is a really kind daughter. If you're going to see Jessica, I think you should talk to her. I think she's hiding something. Hiding something? If you're going to live together, you'll have to talk about various matters, such as how to manage finances and house chores and so on. No need for you to worry about such things. Lately, I've been talking a lot more with Jessica than with you, who stays in her room all the time. You should worry about yourself more than us. Worry about myself? Living with Jessica means that you have to move out. What? Move out? Of course. Your presence would be a nuisance. Nuisance? What's going to happen to you after I leave? My life will be easier without you. Since we can get rid of the pesky parasite, it's a blessing in disguise. You weren't listening carefully to what I was telling you, so I thought you might be misunderstanding things, but I didn't expect it to go this far. What are you talking about? You're the one who's misunderstanding things. The only reason I've been nice to you is because you're my daughter. But you're a grown woman now. You need to be independent. So get ready to move out. Let's talk about it when you get back. There's a lot I need you to know. Your talks aren't worth listening to. After lunch, Jessica and I are going shopping, then dinner. I'll be home late. Well, please lock up the door after I leave. I'm sure you've already heard from Mom, but I've decided to move in with her. So you'd better get ready to move out soon, sis.
Jessica, did you talk things thoroughly with Mom?
Of course. We carefully discussed things yesterday while having lunch. Once you're gone, we'll sell the house. With that money and Dad's inheritance, we're going to buy a new condo.
Buy a new condo? You didn't discuss the most important things.
I told you. We talked it over. I guess you're frustrated that you're gonna get kicked out while we start our fun life at a brand new house.
It's not like that. If you continue with your plan like this, you'll be in big trouble.
I won't. I know you're not happy with the fact that I'm being treated better than you, but you've been relying on Mom to have an effortless life all these years. It's about time you passed that position to me.
Effortless life?
You're jobless, and you've been relying on Mom to financially support you this whole time, haven't you?
Is that what Mom told you?
You lied to me about having a job. I thought you were working from home because that's what you told me. But in reality, you were just a jobless shut-in. I can't believe you even lied to your own sister.
I'm not a shut-in, nor jobless.
But you were living on Dad's inheritance, weren't you? That's what Mom said. You never put a penny in the house.
Did Mom really say so?
Yeah. She never puts money in the house, nor does any chores. I don't remember raising her like that. I really failed at parenting. Compared to her, you are a good girl, Jessica, is what she said. You're really useless. Even your own parents say you're a failure.
I'm starting to feel sad about everything.
Now, it's my turn to enjoy Dad's inheritance and live an effortless life. So get out of my way, you parasite. You're a homeless woman now that you've been kicked out.
You guys are finished.
You're the one finished. Unless you find a new home, you're gonna be homeless for real. You should thank me for giving you advice beforehand. Sis, how's the outside world after staying home for a long time? Did you like my present?
I never thought my sister would give me a 3-night spa trip. I'm surprised.
A shut-in jobless person wouldn't leave the house unless I arranged a nice trip like this, right? I was afraid you might not be so open-minded about the trip. So, to be honest, it was a bit of a gamble. But I'm glad you decided to go. Thanks to you, we were able to sell the house.
Sell the house? What are you talking about?
Actually, I offered you a trip to get you out of the house. You didn't show any signs of moving out of the house. So we planned to sell the house while you were out of town. At last, Mom and I can move into a new house.
You sold the house already?
Yes, of course. After Dad died, the house was registered in Mom's name. I made sure to check who owns the house beforehand. We just signed the contract with the real estate agent. He was seeing some stuff, but we decided to leave all the troublesome things to him. We are just waiting for the money to come in.
Did you fully understand what he said?
Why would I need to understand anything? It's best to leave those things to the experts. That's why we're paying the broker's commission, right?
I think both you and Mom should listen to what they have to say.
We already decided it was pointless to listen to him. I mean, why do we have to listen to a jobless person like you? You should be worrying about where you're going to live next.
I was planning to move out of the house even before you guys brought this up, so I kept the important stuff elsewhere. And I've already found a place to move into.
That was fast. But we're not going to let you use Dad's inheritance for your moving expenses. Understand? There's not a penny left for you to spend.
The same can be said to you too.
What do you mean?
I'm going to enjoy my spa trip in peace. I've been so busy lately that I haven't had a chance to relax. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Don't cry to me later saying you have no money. Hey, where are you? You moved out, didn't you? Tell me your new address.
What's this all of a sudden?
I was tricked. That real estate agent must have been a scam or something.
Since our house was built on leased land, all you could sell was the house itself, and you didn't get any money, correct?
How do you know that?
It was all explained to us after Dad passed away, when we were going through the paperwork for his inheritance and all.
I didn't hear that.
It's just that you weren't paying attention. Plus, I re-explained everything to you after we came home, but you always ignored what I said.
I didn't know it was leased land, and the real estate agent didn't even explain it clearly.
I'm sure the real estate agent would have explained it. Even if you wanted to sell the building, you'd have to get the landowner's approval first. But you left that process to the real estate agent, didn't you?
I told him that he should take care of all the hassle, since we're paying a broker's commission.
As usual, you didn't listen to his explanation, and you just gave orders. I feel sorry for the real estate agent.
What in the world is going on? I can't believe I only ended up getting a few $1,000s.
A house over 50 years old built on leased land can't be worth much money. You should be glad that you at least got some money even after paying the broker's fee and the transfer approval fee to the landowner.
There is no way I can live on this kind of money. I can't even buy a new condo. That's why I'm going to your place. Jessica suggested that I have you pay me back the money I've spent on you and buy a condo with that money.
The money you spent on me?
I've been financially supporting you this whole time while you just stayed home without doing any work. That money, give it back ASAP.
I'm the one who's been financially supporting you all this time. You're the one who should pay me back, Mom.
What are you talking about? Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding. I make over $300K a year.
Stop dreaming.
It's true. I work from home remotely. And what Dad's inheritance are you talking about? I'm sure there's no such thing.
Then what's that money in my account?
That's my money, which I transferred from my account. Dad hardly had any money in his account. It was barely $3,000 or so. It was gone after I paid for his funeral. All that's left is the house.
What about the money you were always withdrawing?
I told you, it's all my money. I paid for the land lease out of that account. I also paid all the taxes, including property taxes on the house. You also withdrew money from that account to pay your living expenses, right?
Wait a minute. That money wasn't your father's? It was actually your money? It's as if you were the one supporting me.
That's what I'm saying. You don't work, so you have no earnings. Since Dad's gone, I decided to stay home to support you, Mom. But since you and Jessica treated me like a parasite, I shall no longer send you any money.
Without your money, how am I going to live?
You're going to live with Jessica, right?
That's right. I can live on Jessica's husband's salary. I won't have any problems even without you.
But Jessica is about to divorce her husband.
Divorce?
He found out about Jessica's affair and is demanding alimony.
She never mentioned such things.
I believe Jessica didn't tell you anything. She won't tell or listen to anything that's inconvenient for her.
But how do you know all this?
That's because Jessica asked me to lend her money, saying her husband was about to leave her. I asked her why it came to this, and she told me how he found out about her affair and was demanding alimony. I refused, so she decided to kick me out and tried to live off the money by selling the house.
That's unbelievable! So her husband won't live with us, and there's no one to support me?
So, both you and Jessica were trying to depend on each other for financial support.
Where are you right now?
I'm not going to tell you. I'm a parasite, so you shouldn't get involved with me.
I didn't know about you. $300K a year, right? That's amazing. That's more than what your father used to make. You make that much by doing a little bit of work from home, right?
My work is not little. It's a big amount of work. I've been sacrificing a lot for my work. But since this business has become more stable, I've been able to control things a bit better now.
So it's true when you said you were busy? Then you're the one who needs me.
Why would I need you?
You need someone to do the housework.
Mom, don't tell me you think you were covering the housework too, not just the money.
I did all the housework for you.
What are you talking about? I bought all the electric devices, like the cleaning robot, auto cooking machine, and also the washing drying combo machine. You hardly did anything. Even for the cooking part, we used Uber Eats a lot.
That's not true. The house was always clean.
I hired a housekeeper once a week when you weren't home.
Oh, really?
Hey, are you joking now? Or is it better for you to go see a doctor? Whatever it is, I don't want anything to do with you or Jessica anymore. You two shall try to manage to live on your own from now on.
Don't say that.
I was trying to repay you for giving birth to me and raising me. I've invested a lot of money in you to take care of my only parent, but you said you failed at raising me. Did you think I wouldn't be shocked to be told that?
I'm so sorry. I was wrong. You've grown up to be a fine daughter.
I think I've done enough to repay you. And I left all the old model electronics at home. Consider it as a final gift from me. Let's live as strangers from now on.
Wait a minute, Katie. I'm actually more fond of you than Jessica. We're mother and daughter, so let's live together. You're single and I'm single too. I think it's more convenient for us to live together.
Oh yeah, and this phone you're using right now? I've been paying for it from the account I was putting money into. So, if you don't start earning money, the phone service will stop too.
No way! Please, think of it as helping your mother.
Just because we're family, that doesn't mean I can easily forgive you. There are limits.
From now on, I'll choose you over Jessica. Please, live with me again. Please. Katie?
I choose to be alone. When my mother and sister realized that they couldn't rely on each other, they started cursing each other. They are also arguing over which one of them should bear the living expenses. My sister is officially divorced, and she is also being charged alimony. The two of them can't live on their own, so they live in a cheap apartment together, living on our mother's pension and their part-time job incomes. They continue to struggle to make ends meet, paying my sister's alimony in installments.
Hey you, it's been a while. I had no idea that my brother's fiancé was you. My servant from middle school. I was really surprised.
Hey, Carrie, it's been a while. I was surprised too. I had no idea that the person who bullied me and made me not be able to go to school was my fiancé's sister.
Hey, don't blame me for your own weakness. You were a loner and didn't fit in the club at all. As a club leader, I was trying to interact with you in a positive way.
Are you serious about that? We were on the volleyball team. All the seniors used me as a target and hit me with the balls. And you guys always left first, leaving me to clean up. And you guys even tried to lock me up in the gym. And I know you were spreading bad rumors about me that were not true.
It's your own fault that you have a bad personality.
By what logic are you saying that? Because of you, I didn't even make it to the graduation ceremony.
I was glad you weren't in the group photo for a club. If you were in the picture, you would have ruined it.
You're still the same, even in your mid-30s. Well,
I'm glad it was you who became my brother's wife.
Huh?
My brother's wife, that would make us sisters-in-law, right? I will use you as my servant for the rest of my life.
Is that what you think?
Call me your leader like you used to on the team.
I don't want to.
A what?
Besides, I have no intention of becoming your servant.
Oh, wow. Have you become a big shot in the little time we've been apart? You can't disobey me. A weak-minded person like you needs to be told what to do.
What makes you a stronger person than me?
I just am.
I don't understand what you mean.
If you insist on defying me, I won't allow you to marry my brother.
You have no right to interfere with our marriage.
Hey, remember who isolated you from the rest of the school by spreading rumors about you? Who do you think it was? If I told my parents and brother, it would be easy for them to break off your engagement. I could just tell them you're playing around with other guys. Oh, or maybe I should tell them that you were a truant in middle school and hung out with the wrong people. How about that?
Please don't. Don't ruin our engagement by making up lies.
You're so desperate. You know my dad runs a company, right?
So what?
Actually, I work there. I work short hours because I want to live freely. But of course, among the employees, I'm the president's daughter, so I'm looked up to. If I were to tell these employees that my brother, who will take over this company in the future, is about to marry a useless woman like you, how do you think they will react? So much fun. I'll talk about it at work tomorrow.
Please don't do that.
Then be my servant. Here, why don't you call me leader?
I won't do that.
Oh, really?
Please give me time until tomorrow.
All right. In the meantime, be prepared to pledge your allegiance to me. I love how hopeless you are.
I'll text you tomorrow.
Hey, my servant! Have you made up your mind? For starters, I need you to go to my office and do some work for me. Of course, I'm willing to pay you. I'll give you about $100 a month.
Hi, Carrie. How are you?
You don't get to call me by my name.
Why not?
Are you really going to act like that towards me? Who do you think I am? I'm serious. If you disobey my orders, I will not allow you to marry my brother. I will tell my parents that I don't want him to marry you, and I will break up your engagement.
Then financing for your company is not going to happen.
Huh? What do you mean?
If this engagement doesn't happen, the financial help to your father's company will be terminated.
What? I don't understand. What does the financial help for my dad's company have to do with your engagement? What's the connection?
You haven't heard from your parents. I also run a company, like your father.
Huh?
Yes, and my company has about 500 employees.
500 is a whole lot more than my dad's company.
Thankfully, the services my company provides match the public demand. Even with 500 employees, we are so understaffed.
What? How can a miserable person like you be the president of a company?
I was really depressed during school, thanks to you. To try to redeem myself, I studied hard. I haven't told this story to any of my classmates either. In case you're wondering, I graduated from South University.
South University? Isn't it that really good school with a low acceptance rate?
Yes. And since college, I've been working with people like myself who have been shut-ins, and for those who want to reintegrate into society but are too afraid to take the first step. I wanted to help them and do something for them. So I started this company. I am now working hard in the education and job placement industry.
Then that financing help means...
That means financial help from my company to your father's company.
Wait a minute. So, in exchange for letting you marry my brother, you're going to finance my dad's company?
Don't get me wrong. I am marrying your brother purely for love. However, him being a future president of the company, he asked me for advice, since his father's company was not doing so well and was having financial difficulties. He told me a lot about what company offered and other offerings. So I advised him. Your father has approached me and asked me if I would be willing to be a consultant for his company. To take on new challenges, money is inevitably needed. Then, instead of borrowing from a bank, I thought it would be less risky to lend him money from my company. Since I'm becoming his in-law anyway, if I were to participate in the management of his company, I would be partly responsible for the results if they did not come through. That is why I was planning to start financing his company when we got married. But if you, who will now be my sister-in-law, is so opposed to our marriage, I have no choice. I love your brother, but I will give up on this marriage. I am sorry for the trouble.
Wait a minute. Is my dad's company not doing well?
It's probably just a matter of time before they go bankrupt.
Are you serious? What am I supposed to do if that happens? I have only worked for my dad's company.
Your parents have told me things about you. I think it would be a good idea for you to become more independent.
What do you mean? I'm working and making money.
You've been working only short hours ever since you graduated from college. You can take a day off whenever you want. You never have to do a job you don't want to do. Despite living in your parents' house, you never gave your parents a penny of your salary. How can someone who spends money as she pleases say such a thing?
Did my dad tell you that?
Why don't you at least pay rent or something?
I don't want to.
I've heard a lot about you from the employees, too. You work only short hours, but you make people listen to you, don't you? As you can imagine, that made me laugh.
Shut up. I'm the president's daughter, so I'm allowed to do that. Everyone needs to respect me.
They are only putting up with you because they know who you are. There is nothing more annoying than an employee who doesn't do anything at work.
It's none of your business.
You're right. Our engagement's been canceled, and I will no longer be financing your father's company. Your company situation is none of my business.
Wait a minute.
What do you need?
Shouldn't marrying my brother and financing my dad's company be two separate things in the first place?
What?
I'm saying don't confuse your personal life with your work life.
How can you tell me that? You're taking advantage of your position as the daughter of the president.
We're talking about you right now. You decided to finance his company because you thought it had the potential for growth. Then, even if your engagement with my brother breaks up, keep the promises you made.
Somehow you seem to think you're saying something very right. I think you should understand the situation of the company you're working for one more time. As I said before, I think there is a chance to rebuild the business. But my future father-in-law... Oh, wait. No more engagement. So your father... Well, the bottom line is that the president thought it was impossible for them to do it on their own, which is why they asked me to do the consulting, if I were to make a full commitment. And if I were to finance his company, then they would finally reach a level where maybe he can rebuild his business. Sorry to say, but no one would normally think of financing such a company. It's too risky. Even if we could rebuild the business, we cannot expect a large return. Still, I decided to finance it because it is the company that my future husband will be running. For those reasons, now that the engagement has been canceled, I have no reason to finance his company. Do you understand?
Ugh! Blah, blah, blah. Okay. I'll let you get married to my brother then.
Huh? What are you saying? I have no intention of marrying him anymore.
Why not?
Because he has an annoying sister like you? There's no way I would want to marry him.
Why not? Without financial help from you, my dad's company will go under, right?
Probably.
I can't let that happen.
But either way, sooner or later, you're going to lose your job.
What do you mean?
Yesterday, after receiving a text from you, I told your parents the whole story. Then your father said, "I'm so sorry about our daughter. We shouldn't have spoiled her because she is a girl. She doesn't work enough, and I've been receiving numerous complaints from employees. I will fire her in the near future and kick her out of this house, so don't worry about our daughter." That's what he said.
Are you kidding me?
All true.
How dare you? I can't live alone. Who's gonna cook for me? Do my laundry? Who's gonna clean my room? What about money?
You're 35 years old. What nonsense are you talking about? Of course, you earn your own money, pay your own rent, and do your own housework.
I don't want to. I want to live freely in my parents' house. Look, I'm not complaining about you guys getting married anymore. You don't have to be my servant. So please, tell my parents not to kick me out.
I will not finance him if you keep living in your parents' house. But then your father's company would go out of business, so the end result is the same.
How can that be?
Oh, and since this is a good opportunity, I would like to ask you to take responsibility for what you did to me when we were in middle school.
What responsibility?
Because of you, I have trauma. It was emotionally difficult, not only for myself, but also for my parents. The damages for emotional distress, the cost of the psychiatrist visits. I will charge you $30,000.
That was a long time ago.
Your parents said that they would not only kick you out of their house, but also disown you.
All right, I'll pay. I pay you when you're happy, right? But I can't pay you right now. I can pay in installments, right?
No, of course, you must pay it in full.
What are you, evil?
What are you talking about? I'm giving you such kindness, even though you bullied me so much in middle school. This is what you deserve. Later, Kiri was fired from her father's company and kicked out of her parents' house. With her out of the way, I was able to get married. A few months later, we had our wedding. She tried to attend, but we politely explained to her and asked her to leave. Since then, she has found a new job and started living alone in an apartment. But this is her first time working properly, and she is struggling every day to get used to that environment. To pay consolation money to me, she went into debt. So her life is difficult every month, and she can't even go out. She often tries to cry to her parents, but her parents have not responded to any of this. Or rather, her parents are too busy reforming their company. Thanks to them, their company's business is recovering, and I will not continue to have a relationship with her in the future.